Ooh. um, welcome to Royal Sussex. Welcome, one and all. Woo! The shade, the shade, the shade. I'm telling you. And here I thought, by the way, Lola Love, thank you so much for being the first person in the live chat. And I was thinking that this was just going to be a dull, um, what do you call it? I thought this was just going to be a very dull, um, what do you call it? Coronation. But there's actually a statement from the Duchess, and I will share that with you later. Um, so, if you guys don't mind, those of you that have the Twitter, please try to restrain yourself. But um, there is a alleged reply from the Duchess of Sussex about everything that's going on right now. So again, if you don't mind, just hold your horses and we'll get to it. Right, right. Woo! I am in. I'm having too much fun. You know that, right? I'm having way too much fun with this. Um, I believe, what was it, Lakehurst, New Jersey, when the Hindenburg was going down, and the announcer said, "Oh, those people! Oh, the humanity!" I think that for the royal family right now, that would be a monumental understatement to say, "Oh, the humanity." I think that would be a monumental understatement. But then again, what do I know? I'm just a royal expert. I'm just going to call myself a royal expert. Hell, everybody else do. So if I'm going to have to make sure I start branding that royal expert. Yeah, thank you for watching, royal expert. I like the sound of that. Anyway, thank you so much, Lola Love, Angela Simmons, Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. Vanetta Chapman, Perlina Answer. So listen, I'm just gonna. Oh, hey, Elaine Parker. I'm just gonna scroll through. I know that there was a couple of super chats or super stickers and something else. So I'm gonna stroll. I'm gonna stroll. God, what is it? It's Saturday. Stroll. What do I do for my off time? I have to be careful. Strolling on a Saturday could be misinterpreted. Okay, so Kim Peaches, I believe King is so desperate to have Harry and Meghan in the UK that he is trying to woo Meghan to change her mind and attend by showing the correspondence. I like that. Thank you so much, Kim Peaches, and thank you so much for the super chat. KDV, thank you so much for the super sticker. And I'm scrolling because I think I saw one more. Or there it is. Okay. One more time. Laverne Lockhart, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Thank you for being a member, by the way. Um, so once I get into it, you'll see what was taking so long. It's just a lot going on. And then when I started looking at my receipts, Regina Strickland, thank you so much for the super sticker and happy Saturday. Thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, a royal expert. Regina, which do you prefer? Let me know. Royal expert or Royal Sussex or Royal Sussex, the royal expert. I, we'll let that float for a while because I'm not sure. Miranda Rios, Pita, thank you so much for being here. Irma Adams, thank you. All right, let's get on to it. Oh, there we go. Wait for it. Aha, there we go. Are we at war and we just don't know it? Row over Spanish forces in Gibraltar, right? Wrong. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about Meghan wrote a letter to Charles. Leg says, people from around, people, what is that? People found out and don't start now. Oh, yeah. Okay, if you don't F around and find out, they won't. Gotcha. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for the super chat. Ooh, let's see. Okay, somebody's kind of feisty. Didn't Princess Meghan sue for a letter of hers being leaked once and won? Haven't anyone learned a lesson and dare leak another one of Meghan's letter? Apparently not, Lori. I don't think they got the message. I don't think they got the message. Somehow they must have been found wanting in their character or something, but I don't think they got the message. Hey, Myra V, V Bram, Marilyn King. So let's get on with it. Let's get this out the way first. Although I have to say, this is just as important as anything else that's happening today. Hi, Tesla Dawkins. Earth Day 2023 is today. Earth Day, it only comes once a year. A time to reflect on our planet. And of course, how in the world have people misused our planet? You know, I just want to share something with you. If you don't recognize this image, this happens to be the image of Earth as seen from the moon. If you were the man on the moon or woman on the moon, you would look into outer space and you will see that the moon orbits the Earth just like the Earth orbits the sun. And there's the moon making its daily round trip around the Earth. You can see from the image that, of course, it's just a big blue marble in outer space. And just think, all of us are stuck on that orbiting Earth, circling the sun 365 and a quarter days a year, all stuck here together. You would think we would be nicer to each other. And take a look at this. This is the Earth as we know it. I mean, from here, it looks absolutely pristine. But from here, well, it's a mess. This is what has happened since the creation of plastics. Plastics, as you know, take hundreds of years to degrade. And so that is what we're doing to this Earth. And of course, Archwell Foundation has partnered with Mark's Earth 20. I'm sorry, what am I saying? Archwell Foundation Mark's Earth Day 2023. Here is something that you can link to from the Archwell website. And if you do that, you can learn how to make contributions to making a cleaner planet, whether financially or just taking garbage bags and going out there and picking up the litter. There's a team of young people doing that right now. Their blood pressure is good. Most of them have 20/20 vision. They ain't got a care in the world. But all I have to say to these children is, y'all look out. These streets are going to eat you alive. Now, there you go. I have imparted a bit of streetwise knowledge on those kids. I hate to lay something heavy on them, but them streets are going to eat y'all up. All right, there you go. This is why nobody ever asked me to babysit. Now you see why nobody ever asked me to babysit. So if you take a look here, this is the pollution that we have put into outer space. It's bad enough that we have polluted our oceans and forests and every place else, but this is actually an exaggerated version of outer space. This is what orbits the Earth every day. Some 300,000 objects things that are small as a grain of rice, a toothbrush, and of course, something as large as a school bus, some of those satellites. But this is what's orbiting the Earth. So, just to make you conscious and aware that not only have we polluted the oceans, but we're also polluting outer space. There is a ring of trash. Back in 1957, before Sputnik, there was nothing. But fast forward to 2015, and look at that. Can you believe it? This is what we're doing to our earth, you guys. This is what we're doing. And as they say, what goes up must come down. I don't think we should worry about anyone trying to invade the earth. If they were smart, they'd go someplace nice and clean, like, I don't know, Mars. Okay, so there you go. Happy Earth Day, everyone. Remember, you're never alone in this world. No matter what you do or where you go, there's always somebody looking over your shoulders. And you know what that person is saying? These streets are going to eat you up. So there you go. Happy Earth Day. These streets are going to eat you alive. Better watch your back. Okay, so there you go. There is my pearls of wisdom for Earth Day. 2020, what is this, 2023? Yes, there you go. Happy Earth Day, except no wooden nickels. Can you dig? All right. All right, so let's get to it, you guys. Sources will no longer speak for Duke and Duchess of Sussex. You got that? Sources will no longer speak for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The only official communication team at Archwell, only the official communication team at Archwell will communicate or not on any stories concerning the couple. So there you go. If there's anything to do with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, they said as of January 1st, 2022, that only official representatives of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are going to communicate on their behalf. No one else. No palace insiders, not a person who knew someone that once took out the trash down at the IHOP. Those are not the people that are speaking for the Sussexes. Only official representatives from Archwell Communications, Archwell Foundation, etc., will speak for the Sussexes. In spite of that, as we always say, there are no leaks in Montecito. There are absolutely no leaks in Montecito. But yet, somehow people are trying to infer or insinuate, if you will, that there have been some leaks from Montecito. And to the people that are spreading that up, I have just one thing to say. Those streets are going to eat you alive. No, that's the for Earth Day. Sorry about that. Let me see here. Yes, Bear, a nice quote. These tampons will eat you up along with all you. Now is your time to repent and redeem yourselves, slimy whale. Wow, Ann Fu, you're all worked up today. I love it. Okay, so having said that, there seems to have been a letter. We spoke about that yesterday on Royal Sussex. Yesterday, we actually, one of the squatties, as a matter of fact, here on Royal Sussex, someone in the chat said that there was a letter. And so I actually read from the letter yesterday, and I'm pretty sure by now most everyone has seen or heard from it. But there you go. So, but what's odd, what is really ruffling some feathers around here, not silky chicken feathers, but the Sussex squad, is there appears to be someone You guys, you know what I'm looking for. Oh, there it is, my lip balm. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you, Church Nelly. Time for someone to repent. Someone to okay. Emily Andrews says, well, this is fascinating. And the timing too. The kind, I'm sorry, not the kind, the king wrote to Meghan that after that Oprah interview, right? Oprah interview. Why did she put Oprah I/view? Oh, well. Expressing his sadness, and Meghan replied, key phrase which sums up the whole saga. They're feeling that their family plays second fiddle to the Wellses. Great read, Victoria at Victoria Ward. Oh, okay. I guess Victoria Ward wrote the article. And then over here, you can see Emily Andrews first posted the article, and then she put a tweet. She couldn't wait to get that out. So, according to the Telegraph, the Duchess of Sussex expressed her concerns about unconscious bias in the royal family in a letter to the king. The Telegraph can reveal it is understood that the correspondence was sent in the wake of the March 2021 Oprah Winfrey interview. Well, as you guys remember, they had already started with the Meghan bullying stuff before the interview even took place. Now, most people assume that that was well, it's been alleged, should I say, that that was likely Kensington Palace trying to preempt anything that may have been mentioned on the Oprah Winfrey interview that would have been critical of William or Kate or both. It wasn't coming from Clarence House that time. This was actually coming from Kensington Palace by most accounts. But at the same time that went on, oddly enough, interesting piece by Victoria Ward, is the Duchess of Sussex again engaging in the sort of selective briefing she accused the palace of using to undermine tentative efforts to repair the damage between her husband and his family? Was this done with Harry's agreement? So Richard Palmer is just throwing it out there, saying that um, he wonders if Meghan was the one briefing or leaking. Wouldn't that be a switch? That the Sussexes, in particular Meghan, somehow may be briefing against the royal family. Meghan, who has turned down the invitation to the coronation, now is sitting in Montecito, not only planning for a child's birthday party, but simultaneously multitasking and leaking to the press about a letter. Meghan, who has sued and won against the Daily Mail, would risk her reputation and even risk um, being sued in a court of law. Meghan leaked the information about a letter, and she's the one who sued about that. Make that make sense. And then, of course, Valentine Lowe has to chime in almost at the same time. Fascinating story by Victoria Ward. The question is, why does the Sussex camp want to leak this? Leak all this. Is it Meghan trying to prevent an outbreak of peace between Harry and his father? And intriguing that they should resort to this sort of briefing that they condemn in others. So, wait a minute. First, you say Meghan, and then you say they. So, is it Meghan leaking? Is it Meghan and Harry leaking? Is Meghan trying to prevent an outbreak of peace between Harry and his father? Intriguing that they should resort to this. Not she, they. Huh. Okay. So Harry is trying to undermine the idea of peace between himself and his father along with Meghan, or Meghan is the only one that is supposedly leaking? Interesting. Very interesting. Um, well, I think that this is a leak for sure, but I don't think it was a leak coming from. Well, as a matter of fact, let's think about this. Let's go back again. So you got Emily Andrews, right? And then you have Richard Palmer, Valentine Lowe. Um, I'm gonna say that Palmer and Lowe, theirs seem to be the most identical, right? Their statements or their tweets. Emily Andrews, let's do that one again. Well, this is fascinating, and the timing too. The king wrote to Meghan after that. Um, okay, she has a bomb, Oprah, bombastic. Is that what she's trying to say? Explosive interview with the Oprah Winfrey, expressing his sadness. And okay, Meghan after that, Oprah view expressing his sadness, and Meghan replied, key phrase which sums up the whole saga, their feeling that their family play. So I don't think Emily Andrews is the one that is accusing Meghan of leaking. Is that what you guys got? Because I don't see that. It looks to me like Richard Palmer and Valentine Lowe are taking the stance that Meghan leaked the letter, or the the idea of, oh, not the idea but the presence of a letter. Debbie Love Hugh, is it? There's a statement. I know, Debbie, hang on, I'm going to get to it. I have it, I promise you, we're going to get to it. That's what I was saying earlier. Just hold your horses, we are going to get to that statement. I've seen it, I promise you. I just want to make sure that it's in proper context. But thank you so much. I really, really, honestly appreciate you sharing that, just to make sure that we're all on board. And thank you so much for the super chat. Happy Saturday to you. Let me see. Anfu says, get real, Richard Palmer. Meghan is a lady of distinction and has silently taken threats to her life. Why would Meghan get involved in this vulgar and vile comedy show? And Fu, that is very, very well said. Let me see here. This was okay. Joyce Bo says this was coordinated. The responses by the three so-called royal rotor or royal experts to go along with the news article. I am not giving Emily Andrews a pass. She should have responded. She should not have responded at all. Yeah, Joyce Bose, I don't want to give Emily a pass for sure. I don't want to give her a pass. But I just don't see her making the accusation. But I said yesterday, didn't I say yesterday, Emily Andrews loves messiness. And I think she just gets like very amused by the whole idea of it. So, yeah, I see Emily Andrews as being a bit of a instigator, and then she sits back and, like, for instance, you guys know Emily Andrews is the one who helped Robert Jobson expose his very odd thing about shaking Archie over after the birthday or whatever. That was Emily Andrews. Emily Andrews is good for stirring up some stuff, I promise you. Emily Andrews also tweeted accusing Team Sussex. What? Did she? I didn't see that. Thank you, Legs. Let me go and take a look at that. Oh, my God. I don't know which way. I feel like the chicken with, you know how those little chickens, how their head be looking left and right? Looking to see if there's any bugs to eat or something. Let me take a look at that. Okay. Given the legal letters. Oh, is that from today? No, that's oh yeah, that is from today. Valentine Lowe says, given the legal letters have been sent by the Sussex lawyers as well as Palace since story was published, It seems I was wrong in assuming that it came from the Sussex camp. Wait, you guys, this is Valentine Lowe just tweeted this. Let me do this again. Given that legal letters have been sent by the Sussex's lawyer as well as the palace since the story was published, it seems I was wrong in assuming that it came from the Sussex camp. Sorry to all about that, but even more intriguing. That is what Valentine Lowe tweeted recently, I guess. Wow, you guys, this is intense. This is intense. I was not expecting today to be this messy, but Valentine Lowe tweeted that in response to legal letters have been sent from the Sussex's lawyers as well as Palace's since the story was published. Uh-oh, somebody's going to end up in court again. Somebody is going to end up in court again. And Valentine Lowe may have, and you know what? You know what? Let me just say this. I'm going to get to the statement. Let me just skip to the statement, you guys, because I know some of you all haven't seen it, and it's not fair to keep you guys waiting like this. So let me just go to the statement. Because now it just makes so much more sense. And I mean, I had everything all set up, and then that statement came out. So here's the statement. The Duchess of Sussex is going about her life in the present, not thinking about correspondence from 2 years ago related to conversations from 4 years ago. Any suggestion otherwise is false and frankly ridiculous. We encourage tabloid media and various royal correspondents to stop the exhausting circus that they alone are creating. That is from the Sussex representative. That is from the Sussex's representative. That is what was, tweeted maybe less than an hour ago. Black Queen says that's why people are upset about Harry going into that vile den. His father is the one allowing all this evil to be perpetrated against him, Meghan and her children. Amen to that one, Black Queen. And Leg says, Emily Andrews tweeted, this is a leak straight. Oh, okay. And that was this morning. Okay. I did not see that one. Thank you so much, Legs. And thank you for the super chat. Okay. Ain't there something? And I was just going to look for that tweet when that just came up. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, my goodness. What a day. This is intense. This is very intense. I promise you, I wasn't expecting for things to take this turn. So that is that's Valentine Lowe pulling it back. Let me see if Emily Andrews has anything to impart about this. Let me see. Okay, I see that. Nope, don't look like she pulled it back yet. Okay. Yeah, I still don't see the other tweet. It must be on that thread, though. It must be on that very same thread. Wow. All I got to say is wow. Huh. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna just bypass that. But thank you so much, Legs. I just always like to take that extra step and see if there's anything else. But so there you go. Thank you very much. Church Nelly about to get that razor out of her shoe. Church Nelly is ready to get the razor out the shoe. Yes, and Fu Emily Andrews stokes the fire and sit back and enjoy all her wickedness. She is like the devil's advocate. I do believe that. I do believe that. Yes, there are no leaks in Montecito. There are no leaks in Montecito. Okay, so I'm going to put this back away and go back to where I left off with my slides because I still have so much that I want to share about why the leaking is happening. I think I had at least 20 slides. So we started here, we go back here, and then this, and let's go here. All right. Exclusive. Meghan wrote to the king over racism concerns. A source claimed that the letter makes clear the identity of the senior member of the of the family, that is, who made the comment. However, it is understood that she does still consider the comment to be racist. But there were no such overtures to Meghan, with whom relations with the Prince and Princess of Wales remains at rock bottom. So that was, I believe that is part of I believe that is part of it, the article. I think so. Let me see. Hello, Dorothea. Was it Doretha Epps. Hello, Doretha Epps. Oh man, you guys are going to crash the interweb. Valentine Lowe is just trying to clean up the mess he created, but the damage has already been done. Meghan should take all of them to court. I do think this is going to be a matter for the lawyers to handle. I do believe that. And you know what? Didn't I just say yesterday that at first I was just like, okay, cool, Harry, just go. Now, actually, not now, but yesterday I was thinking Harry should not even bother because this is absolutely wicked. Don says Meghan sued when her private letter to her father was made public. Why would Meghan leak her private letter to King Charles? There is no logic to it. Yeah, no logic whatsoever. But we always say the calls are coming from inside the house. Hello, Shelly L. Wow, what did you just walk into? Oh man, it's going to be a barbecue at Twin Oaks tonight. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex and being the newest. My mind is racing. I can't even think. The newest moderator. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As a matter of fact, from yesterday, here we go. That is the list of, oh, there we go. That is the list of moderators. Thank you again, Elaine Parker. And you're making it rain, 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 rain on me. And you're making it rain, 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 rain on me. All right, so that song is going to be stuck in my head again. But anyway, thank you so much for being here, VS. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for being here, VS. Let me see here. I am enjoying this too much, although I have to say that I am very upset and outraged for Meghan's sake because I'm sure that this has caused a bit of turmoil and stress considering what she's already been through with that institution where letters are concerned. Shelly L says, hi, Baron. I've been listening in the background, but it started getting too good. Right? Right? If I could quote Miss Dr. Shola says, juicy. It's getting juicy. Kim Peaches says, Baron, why did Prince Charles write Meghan? And what did he think of her response? Obviously, he didn't stop any of the mess after that when he could have put a stop to all of it? Well, Charles is very much a flip flopper and incredibly indecisive. So if Charles actually did something constructive, just straight out make a proper decision, that would be so out of character for him. YM Joyce, oh, that's for Church Nelly for it. Okay. Church Nelly for head of Sussex Security. Okay, slap them all. Thank you so much for that, YM Droid. Yes, Church Nelly, the enforcer, the Sussex Security. All right, let's continue here. So let us remember this. Charles is not royal racist. Prince alerts lawyer over claim. Well, listen, nobody claimed it was him. They didn't say who it was. And as a matter of fact, most people suspect that William is the one responsible for asking about the child's skin color, not Charles. Charles seems to skate on that one with most people. Not everybody is, absolving him of any responsibility, but it has been said that I seem to gravitate toward the Cambridges, but nobody knows for sure. You have to really wonder. Nobody really knows for sure. The Sussexes had an opportunity to say, and the press has been like very eager to get them to say who said it, right? And so while they're waiting to find out who asked that very awkward question, then simultaneously they tried to downplay the idea that there was anything wrong with that. And as I said yesterday, for a woman of color being in the institution that uplifts and has become an example to the right wing, an institution that has upheld white supremacy, the royal family, if someone asks you about a child's skin tone and almost in the same breath say, oh yeah, and your child is not likely to have a title, we're not going to give them a title, there won't be prince and princess. Everything about what Meghan said in the Oprah interview was othering of her children. Everything that she said sounded more like the children were being othered. And that was the painful part of it. I don't care about the titles as much as I am very bothered by othering those children. Just like I didn't like the Queen of Denmark othering her grandchildren. You just don't do that. And then not only were they othered, but then they moved the goalposts. Instead of taking their titles at 21, all of a sudden there was this massive emergency where she had to take their titles right away. That was awkward, to say the least. That was awkward. And the same with Charles. I would never, ever look the other way and say, oh, Charles, I'm not going to make any excuses for him, because Charles sat idly by and watched the official royal website ignore the status of those children's titles for months. It wasn't until the Sussexes mentioned that Lilibet Diana was Princess Lilibet Diana. It wasn't until the Sussexes said that they changed it on the royal website. They could have changed it that day the Queen died. They changed other titles. Why not change that one? Why not change that one? So I'm not going to give Charles a free pass. Let's see. Outsiders' perspective say, guys, has anyone outside of the U.S. gotten their physical copy of Spare from Penguin Random House? Talk with Dr. Mati Gabor. Yeah, if you guys can help outsider perspective, that would be helpful. Thank you very much. Barbara Lane, thank you so much for the super sticker. And also thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex, the royal expert. I like being a royal expert. It's easier than I thought it would be. He has to stop listening to the voice in his ear. Um, S, have you seen the size of Charles' ear? They don't seem as big today because his face is kind of caught up with it, but Charles can hear sounds that only a canine can pick up. Charles has a heightened sense of hearing compared to most humans. So I believe that he can probably hear at a greater distance and at a higher pitch than most people. But that's just my opinion. Thank you so much for your comment. Okay. Oh, Susie Q, 12 months membership. Thank you so much, Susie Q. I didn't see it yet, but thank you so much. Oh, I see it. I hope Harry doesn't show up at that clown show. All right. Thank you so much. I did not see that on this screen. Very cool. Thank you. So please stop blaming Meghan. It was me, King Charles III, that leaked the letter to the Telegraph. I was throwing Will and Kate under the bus because they are the ones that were concerned about Archie's skin color. But the letter came from me, Charles. I need popularity and others to like me. That's why I did it. Now, of course, Charles did not say that, but one of the squatties posted that on the Twitter. You might recognize your work if you're in the chat right now. But yeah, one of the squatties posted that in the Twitter. And, you know, there's no way we can know exactly what was at play. But what I'm sure of, one thing I am sure of, is Meghan did not leak that letter. No one on her team leaked that letter. And certainly, it didn't even come out of Montecito. That letter was between the houses of Windsor back in Narnia. That I am sure of. It did not come from Montecito, where there are no, wait for it, leaks. There are no leaks in Montecito. So there you go. Okay. Let me continue. Claudia Blanco says, "Oh, okay. Let me get rid of this. Need to take that away. All right. So Claudia Blanco. Oh, what did I do? There we go. So many throwback. The sad uprising of Belle, the movie, who finally found her own voice to say she is her own woman regardless of her race." Thank you so much for that, Claudia Blanco. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Black Queen. Let me see here. His lips filler is really off-putting. It makes him look like a creepy old ventriloquist doll. Let me see here. Oh my God! It does look like he's had a few CCs. Is that what they call it? It does look like he's had a little filler. I have noticed that Charles has been wearing a lot of makeup lately. He has been wearing a very unusual amount of makeup, even for someone in the public eye. I don't know why, but he almost looks like something that just sat up at the funeral home and started talking. That's what he looks like. He looks like a cadaver just set up, like they were preparing him and didn't realize he was just sleeping. So, but yeah, he does look like an old ventriloquist. Thank you, Shelly L. You get a bell for that. Thank you very much. So I had to go back to this photo. I had to go back to this photo for a very good reason. because it kind of reminded me that they may they may not really like each other that much. Hello, Rosebud 20. They may not really like each other that much. As a matter of fact, maybe there is some tension between the ladies. Now, I've noticed that they don't ever do any solo royal occasions together. I've seen Kate go out with Anne, right? And I know she's gone out with the Queen a couple of times. But have there been any solo engagements between Kate and Camilla? I don't know of any. But this photo of Kate um, during the funeral, I think, well, or to lead up to the funeral, I think it speaks volumes. I mean, she just absolutely looks devious. And as for Camilla, if she didn't look like she was up to something, I wouldn't recognize her. So I don't know. Um, but someone please get Meghan Markle away from these Disney villains. So this was a tweet from someone at the time of the funeral or the whole mourning period. And I held on to it because I don't know, I just did. It just seemed like it really describe the situation. And I would say, yeah, it does speak volumes for what's going on there because they are the quintessential Disney villains. So I think if there is any bad blood between Kate and Camilla, now remember, you guys, they said it was reported. I don't know that it's true, but it was reported that they asked Kate or they asked William to tell or instruct Kate to use Catherine, which William prefers Catherine, or at the very least to spell Kate, um, or or no, was it spelled Catherine with a K instead of a C? Because there's too many C's in the family. You got Charles, Camilla, and Catherine. So they wanted her to change the spelling of Catherine with a K, just to eliminate the abundance of too many letter C's, because there will be Charles, uh, what is it? Charles Rex, right? And does Camilla use, no, Camilla doesn't use Camilla Regina, does she? How does she follow her name? Because the queen was Elizabeth Regina, that was the ER, and Charles Rex, I believe. So Regina is Latin for queen, and Rex is Latin for king. So what does Camilla use uh, behind her name? Does Camilla use Regina? Because if that's the case, you will have CR, CR, and then another CR. So that is kind of confusing, right? And I think they want to avoid there being another, uh, CR for Catherine Regina. I think that's the reason, but I'm not sure what the consorts use behind their names. So if anybody knows, please let me know because I'm not sure. Thank you, Fatima Ba says she will use R for Rottweiler. Okay, so there is Elizabeth Regina, there is Charles Rex, and there is Camilla Rottweiler. Woo! I love it. You guys are on fire today. You guys are on fire today. As a matter of fact, I think there are many of people laughing right now with some of you guys' comments. You know what? Some people are just going to just laugh themselves to sleep. This is going to be me tonight. Okay, that will be me tonight. And you know what, guys? Just for fun, we have to do it. We have to do it. All right, that is dedicated.
That's it for now.
Okay. All right. So YM Droid says, Camilla, come up. Latin for dirty bird. Okay. Okay. Is that R or a V? I don't know. Did anybody answer the question, or does anybody know? Does she not use anything? Oh, I think I'm going to end up regretting ever asking the question, because you guys have given me some of everything but the answers. So, but yes, thank you so much, YM Droid, for the super chat. Okay, so let me see here. Yes, we had to skip ahead. I was going to wait, but they couldn't wait. Everybody kept, but anyway, hi, Ann. Thank you so much for joining us. But everyone kept asking about it or mentioning it. So I said, well, let me go ahead and get it up there. So as a matter of fact, let's go and look at the statement again for anybody who's just joining us. And I'll go back to where I left off. So the statement from the Sussexes reads as follows. The Duchess of Sussex is going about her life in the present, not thinking about correspondence from 2 years ago related to conversations from 4 years ago. Any suggestion otherwise is false and frankly ridiculous. We encourage tabloid media and various royal correspondents to stop the exhausting circus that they are creating. That they alone are creating. So, yes, it is a circus. And, you cannot have a circus if you don't have what? What do they usually have at the circus? I think, and I mentioned it yesterday, didn't I? Right? Okay, let me find it. Because at the root of this problem, there was a clown. Isn't it bliss? Isn't it a scare? Her hair is super flat and makeup everywhere. But where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns. Well, maybe she's here. You guys, I told you she's a clown. She is the reason why Robert Jobs, well, actually, I'm not going to say she's the reason, but she's the one who agitated Robert Jobson into exposing his true nature. Who did that? Emily the clown. And of course, there have been other occasions, like that time when Emily was on that talk show and she was sitting there whispering and plotting against, of all people, Angela Levin. I have never seen a clown go after a troll. Have you? I've never seen a clown go after a troll. But Angela Levin was on that talk TV show, and all of a sudden, Emily was in the background whispering, she already said that. Emily was plotting against Angela Levin and put Angela Levin on the ropes so bad Angela got so defensive. Well, next time, don't invite me to come on the show if you're going to attack me. No, you wanted to attack me. That's what you wanted to do. Remember that? Angela Levin was on one of the talk TV shows, and first the host laid in on her, and in the background, there was Emily plotting against Angela Levin. So, you know what? They all deserve each other. Angela, Emily, all of them, they all deserve each other. What a disgusting oh, let me see. I just saw something pop up. Oh Lord. Okay. I'm gonna have to look at that later. I'm not even gonna say what it is because I don't want you guys to search. But it ain't got nothing to do with the Sussexes. It's just a distraction from the other side. Nothing to do with any of this. Let me see here. That statement is the classiest middle finger I've heard in a while. The Sussexes are just beautiful. It was kind of snarky, wasn't it? It did have a little like bite to it. I did notice that. I mean, it pretty much says I'm going about my business. It says the Duchess of Sussex is going about her business, and she ain't thinking about y'all. Okay, okay. That is what it says in so many words. I get that. It is dripping with disdain for the institution. Well, actually, it's really targeting the tabloid media. As a matter of fact, it even says tabloids. So let me go to where I left off. So we got this. So what I was hinting to, what I was trying to get at, is that for years, right? How long did this go on? For years, they were trying to prop up Kate as ready to rule. Remember that? Kate is the answer to the royal family. Kate is ready to reign. Kate, 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 Kate. They just kept pushing Kate. The new king, king and queen. The mom who will be queen. The next queen, king and queen. The new king and queen, king and queen. Preparing for the throne. Meet the new queen, Queen Kate. King and queen. Kate prepares to be queen. They just kept pushing Kate as though there was no Camilla. And then even up there at the top, you could see when the queen did not go to the cenotaph for that thing they do every year, Remembrance Day, they focused on Kate Middleton. And of course, she had her mouth askew. She had that weird mouth going on and that Groucho Marx makeup, but that ain't the point. Why is it in one of those articles, it mentions fear for Queen's health, and then they have Kate as though they're propping her up as the next queen or a worthy substitute for Queen Elizabeth. Someone, much to her credit, who spoke fluent French, among other things. She had other interests, dogs, ponies, French language, whatever. Kate, not so much. She has a degree in art history and doesn't even know what a Fabergé egg is. I'm not kidding. So that was very strange. And maybe there is suddenly a very obvious payback from Camilla's side of things. Maybe. I don't know that to be true. For the lawyers listening, I'm just going to say there may be an alleged or assumed or possible. I don't know it to be true. Now, Carol Middleton's Party Pieces business had a terrible Christmas after expanding into U.S. Princess Kate's mother is now locked in a dispute with firm suppliers after postal strike. And this is what, from February 2023. Well, since that time, they have decided to throw in the towel and to sell party pieces, right? And they're willing to pay an endowment or a dowry or something just to get somebody to take it off their hands. Party pieces is something that happened in the early days of the dot-com boom. Now that people order online, people go to the party centers, to the pound store, the Dollar Tree. People are going to these um, discount stores where you can buy all of the stuff you need for a party in units of $1 or £1. So it's a business that doesn't have much of a purpose. If you're not doing that, then you're going to go to the Amazon website. You're going to go to Walmart. You're going to go someplace else. Nobody needs party pieces anymore. So selling it may be really awkward. However, I'm wondering if the whole narrative about Kate ready to be queen, if that wasn't coming from her mother. I wonder. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm wondering if that's where it was coming from. Because, listen, how many times did I say that there is someone who has gone through a lot of trouble, put their kids through the best schools, and maybe even encouraged them to throw their behinds out the window anytime they heard some voices outside? Somebody had gone through a lot of trouble raising her daughters to marry well. Didn't I say that? And at a time when nobody else in the realm wanted William, there was one person sitting by with nothing better to do. She certainly didn't get up and go to work. She wasn't that good at school. There was one person that was sitting around doing nothing for 10 years. And when William broke up with her, allegedly, to see if there was anybody else available to marry him, and of course there wasn't, especially an aristocrat, there was our Kate smiling and grinning from ear to ear. I'll marry him. What? What? She said she'll marry him. Okay, okay. We didn't hear you the first time. So, Kate married William. That cost a lot of money and took a lot of effort to make that union happen. Now it appears that the Middleton family is going belly up, right? People are insinuating that they may not be as rich as they pretend to be, or that they might be flat broke. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure they got a stash of money somewhere. But I believe there was a song back in the day, Summertime, and the living is easy. The Middletons are broke, and the party pieces. Yes, it is summertime, and living ain't so easy. And of course, that company called Party Pieces has gone belly up. So, um, there seems to be a lot going wrong for the Middletons right now. Kate does not seem to be so close to William. This is like a soap opera. The business has kind of gone down the tubes. They tried to make some type of inroad into the United States as if weren't enough party supply places already. There are, you guys, I heard that not Michael's, but gosh, which, I forget which store it is where they sell the craft stuff. I don't think it was Michael's. I think it was another one. They're shutting down a bunch of retail spaces this year, a bunch of them. Pretty bad time for someone to try to invest into retail spaces anywhere, let alone even in the United States. So they're having some problems right now. So poor Carol. Um, it's enough to drive you to a football match, right? Or is it rugby? Yeah, it's enough to drive you to a rugby match. Anything else go wrong, and I tell you, she's going to rugby herself under the stands. She is going to rugby herself or football herself under the bleachers. I'm using a metaphor. Uh, Hi. Yes, hi is the word, right? Hi. Let me see. Rosalind Gatewood says, Baron, I think Kate is funding them. She should be able to get her hands in enough Tommy to help them out. Maybe. I don't know. I hear something about William helping them out with their house or something like that. I don't know. I haven't really kept up with the Middletons. But anyway, it's enough to drive you to a football match or some type of sports event. But yeah, there you go. Party Pieces celebrated 30 years of business. Let me see. I guess they started in 1989. That was a good time. 89, 99. Okay, 99, 2009, 2019. So yeah, 2019 must have been their 30 years of business. So there's James and Pippa and there's Kate. They're all celebrating. Who knew that a short time later things would be swirling down the drain, metaphorically speaking? Prince William is incredibly close to wife uh, Duchess Kate's parents. Yeah, he was close to him, but you don't ever hear of the parents, of them going to the parents' house anymore. I remember there was a time William would go there as a retreat, but then again, that may have been some information that was leaked by someone. What town are they from? Huckleberry, or something like that. Oh, yes, you guys, please do a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to Royal Sussex. Charles for sale, Furor, I can't even say the word. Charles A. Toad, Saudi donor, will help you get knighthood. Now, someone leaked this information. We never did figure out how this made it into the mainstream news. You know what I'm saying? And I guess what I'm saying is there's a possibility that the two houses have been leaking against one another for a while. And maybe things have just been turned up a notch in anticipation of the coronation. But somebody was leaking like the whole thing about the bags of money. That happened a while ago, didn't it? Didn't that happen like almost 10 years ago? And then all of a sudden, like last year, or was it 2 years ago? That was when they started investigating and such. And of course, there was no serious inquiry. The Met police chief, what was her name? Cressida Dix. She played the lip service, but there was really no looking into it. So Charles A. told Saudi donor, we'll help you get your night. Oh, Charles facing police quiz over cash for honors. Charles is the sovereign now, so he is above the law. There is no likelihood that anything will ever come of it, just embarrassment. So I don't know if they're still close or has something changed. It's hard to say. Something may have changed between the two sides. But William is just a heartbeat away. Yep, he is just a heartbeat away from power. But in the meantime, they have to deal with Camilla. Camilla seems to be running the show. At least that's what a lot of people assume. How many more homes can the slim down royals justify? And that was a Richard Case story. That was a Richard Case story. And I was surprised that Richard K went there. But this seemed like this was something approved of from the other household. And so I'm starting to get this feeling that if there's something negative in either direction, that it comes from the opposite house. Never anything to do with the Sussexes. And this is why that was so stupid of Valentine Lowe to insinuate that anything came from the Sussexes. And likewise, who was the other fool that did that? This is why it was a bad idea. That it didn't make sense on the surface, and even if you go beneath the surface, it wouldn't make sense. Richard Palmer, that was very stupid of either one of them to insinuate that the Sussexes leaked anything to the press. They're going to be in trouble. Let me see. I think Charles' team put all those stories out there, so Prince Charles, once king, won't have to deal with all that cash for honors problem. You know, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Beverly McCaskill says, Royal Sussex Baron just checking in and hearing about the rebuttal from the Duchess of Sussex lawyer. These royal streets are getting so nasty. The lawyers have the paper ready to serve. Can't wait. Right? Right? Yeah, it is messy, and I am here for it. Okay, Rosebud says, I read in Harry's book as he was being nasty to Meghan, he said everything stopped as the words. I'm sorry, I don't get that one. Oh, I don't get that one. I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. Okay. Imposing his son as Prince of Wales. Oh yeah. Okay, this I know what this is. All right, imposing his son as Prince of Wales the day after the death of his mother was a power move, a blatant political statement at a time of official national mourning. They hide politics under the cloak of personal events pushback, not my king. Okay, this is what was interesting. Charles has to confer the title Prince of Wales upon William, right? William and Kate changed, either one of them, both of them, they changed the what was it? The Kensington Palace website, or I'm sorry, Twitter account. They changed the website and the Twitter account right after the Queen died. They decided to change it instead of them expressing their mournful feelings as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I believe that without even asking permission from Charles, they just went ahead and changed it to the Prince and Princess of Wales. And then the next day, Charles, when he gave his speech to the nation, whenever that happened, whenever he gave that address, then he referred to them as the Prince and Princess of Wales. It wasn't really official until Charles said so, right? there is a title that is conferred to the heir to the throne. Even if Charles was king when William was born, there is still an investiture of the title Prince of Wales. You don't just assume it, it is conferred. And so William, he's the one that did a power move by just throwing himself in there as the Prince and Princess of Wales. I don't think he spoke to his father. I mean, the Queen was still warm to the touch when he did that. That was a power move. So there's been tension going back and forth. And there's Princess Kate now, Princess of Wales Kate, ready to rule. I mean, as you can see, she don't know what direction she's going to go, but she's ready, whatever it is. That was a power move. Nicole Tanner says, Baron, that's a strange way to stay. Oh, she always does that. They just have the camera up high so you can't see it. Let me see here. Oh. Okay, Gwendolyn Daniel says they should let clueless Kate go to the bathroom because you know I pull that photo out when I want to be shady. You know I do that. Let me see. So disrespectful to his grandmother and the queen. So he'll treat his brother the same way. Power move, yes. Yeah, it was, and of course, if you take a look here, King Charles back probe into family slavery history links. The thing with the letter, which may have been leaked, not just so much to hurt the Cambridges or the Waleses, but Charles leaks that, or someone from his camp leaks that letter thing, or it may have come from someplace else. We don't know. I can't say for sure. I don't know. We don't know where it came from, but somebody leaked that to the newspaper, to the Telegraph, right? So that may be something that will help Charles because it shows that he's concerned and it shows that Meghan thought enough to write a letter to him. All of that is designed to make him look good. Meghan doesn't suspect that he, or at least they're trying to say that Meghan doesn't suspect that he's racist, or Meghan spoke to him about whoever the racist was. All of that is supposed to come from that letter being leaked. And then on the other side there, of course, Charles backing the probe. That makes him look good, as though, you know, he wants to help people of color, Black people, anybody who's been affected by the slave trade or their ancestors. All of that just before the coronation, nobody's interested in. And then, of course, there's the photo of Harry and Meghan with the rest of them for, what was that the occasion? The christening of Louis. So there they all are, Charles and his family. The only people that's missing are, of course, Lily and Archie. So these three things combined seems like someone very desperate to try to look good just in time for Coronation Day. As for the letter itself, I don't know where that comes from. I think it does help Charles a lot. If that is the reason why it was leaked, and there's no saying that Charles had anything to do with that. There may have been someone who thought they were helping Charles, or someone who had it in for the Cambridges other than Charles, like someone who had been looked over and looked past as queen for a while. And of course, now that they are queen, now that they are queen, maybe they want revenge. I don't know. I don't know. It's very strange, but I can't say for sure where it comes from. Chucky is a racist. He took the baton from his mama. He can never look good, especially when he took away security from his son, biracial daughter-in-law, and his biracial grandchildren. You better say it, Black Queen. You better say it. That is a lot, and it is very true. All of those things happened. All of those things happened. Yep, all of those things did happen. Each and every one of them took away the security, um, and of course allowed both Harry and Meghan to be not just brutalized during that mourning period for his mother, but it was it was of such a vicious nature the way all of that played out, and that was something he could have stopped if he wanted to, if he wanted to. But instead, he left the Sussexes to stew in their own juices while the world watched like some kind of monster. He just did not care. And what a horrible thing to do, especially when they went to Dusseldorf. They went and probably was hoping to see the Queen, I'm sure. And then all of a sudden, how long were they away from their children? 2, 3 weeks. So all of that's going on. And what was supposed to be like, what, a 1-week trip turned into 3 weeks away from their children. And during that entire period of time, threats were made. Humiliation was heaped upon the Sussexes. And of course, Charles would not mention Lily and Archie's titles. All of that happened. And he was in the right mind that he could say, oh, yeah, William's the Prince of Wales, William and Kate. No mention of Archie and Lily. He took time to other them while he was assuming power as the monarch. That's deep. You got enough time and effort to watch your son and his biracial wife be humiliated in front of the world, while at the same time having receptions for world leaders, trying to corner Joe Biden for a trade deal. All of that stuff happened. So there's no sympathy for Charles whatsoever. That was some devious stuff that happened. And he is the one with the power, front and center. As a matter of fact, had the power long before his mother died. He was wielding that power. So he bears the responsibility. And one of these days, he is going to be the one physically, mentally, not all together there. And who's going to be lording over him? Who is going to be lording over Charles the way he did his mother? William. William. If I was him, I'd make peace with my son. If I was him, I'd make peace with my son. And I'm not talking about William. Better make peace, because other than that, you ain't going to have nobody to help you. What a disgusting person. Absolutely disgusting. So that leads us right back to this. This is a statement from our Duchess telling them to go and do something to themselves. I'm not thinking about y'all. In so many words. But yeah, it is a nasty bit of business. As long as I live, I am never going to forget the way that that family conducted themselves at the Queen's funeral, the whole period of the Queen's funeral. I'll never forget that. And the thing is, there's too many people that will never forget that. And even though most people are not saying much about it or haven't said much about it, there's a silent majority of people that still remember what happened during that period. And it was like what happened with Philip's funeral on steroids. You don't want your son to wear his uniform. You and your other son don't want your son to wear his uniform. That was disgusting. So I hope they are going at it. I hope they are going at it big time. And I am just going to wait to see all the pieces fall apart. Speaking of pieces, did you guys hear about someone throwing $200,000 onto a highway in Oregon? Did anybody hear about that? Somebody flung $200,000 out of the window of their vehicle, and all traffic stopped. And there are still people combing the shoulder of the highway looking for money. $200,000. Now, try not to fall out your chair when I say this, but if you're from Oregon and you happen to have been on the freeway at that hour, if you have found or collected any money that have blown around the highway, can you please contact the police in Oregon so that they can retrieve it? I repeat, if you found any of that money in Oregon, even if you're in Washington State and you find some money blowing down the street, it probably came from Oregon. Please refund that money, because the family member who took the money out of the joint account had access to the money, but didn't actually have permission to take it all, although they were one of the names on the account and had access to the money. It still seems rather shady that they took that money out. It is kind of shady they took the money out, but yes, it was a joint account. And apparently the one person on the account took the money out, and without, alerting anyone else in the family, that money, which belonged to that particular family, was boxed up, taken on the highway, and just thrown out the car window. He said he wanted to help people. So if you did find some of that money, do the right thing. You guys, Dr. Shola posted this today. I left the 30th anniversary of Stephen Lawrence with the fire in my belly, hot and flaming. A beautiful and thought-provoking commemoration, strong reminder, much work still needs to be done, and to keep fighting the good fight. In awe of Baroness Lawrence, OBE Lawrence, Stephen Lawrence Day Pledge. So that is Dr. Shola with Doreen Lawrence, Stephen Lawrence's mother. A group of ruffians attacked and murdered Stephen Lawrence back in, oh gosh, I guess it was, what was that, 1993? No. 93. I think it was 93. But anyway, it's been 30 years, so that happened today. And just to remind you guys, Doreen Lawrence is one of the group of high-profile individuals that are suing the Daily Mail, the Mail on Sunday, because of a few things like eavesdropping, burglary. What was the other charges? Wiretapping, hacking phones and such. So that is Doreen Lawrence. Not only was the Daily Mail outspoken by naming and shaming the alleged murderers or convicted murderers, but they also simultaneously was digging around the Lawrence family, trying to figure out whether they were drug dealers or trying to find out whether they were being paid by someone, or that they had some kind of illegal income, or all kind of stuff they were digging for. Of course, they never found anything, and I do believe that it cost the marriage of Doreen and her husband. I think, didn't they break up? Well, anyway, it was it's a lot to it. So if you want to learn some more about it, just go ahead and search Stephen Lawrence and learn about this young man that they were trying to say was some type of gang member, but he certainly was not. And yes, thank you so much. Lydia says, I pray she gets deserved justice. Yes, thank you very much, Lydia. Lady Bird says, Baroness Lawrence of Clarendon. Baron, that is her full title. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, let's move on. And right there, in memory of Stephen Lawrence, 1971 to 1993. Yeah. So I don't know where this is located, but there is something somewhere to commemorate him. And as you can see, there are a ton of flowers on it and notes and letters and cards. Now, let's get to this. Let's get to this, shall we? Now, this is a very odd thing. As you can see, there is the Queen surrounded by the grandkids. And the big question, as you may have heard already, is this photo photoshopped? Is Louis actually in the room? There is a lot to be said about this photo. Is Louis actually in the room? So for that, we need to go to TikTok.
It's been a minute since I made a video. Happy 97th birthday, Queen Elizabeth. We got this picture taken by Catherine, Princess of Wales. It's very nice, super cute picture. So we start off and we look at Lucas. The light source is coming from this direction. You can tell by his face. It's lit up on that half. Same with her, same with George, the Queen. Basically, everyone has one side of their face that's a little bit more illuminated because there's a window over here, obviously, that's brightening up the room from that direction. And everyone's shaded on the other side. But if you look at Louis, he has another light source that isn't accounted for in terms of the light that's actually in that room. So here on the top of his head, you see that bright spot. And if that bright spot were in the room, you would see it also on the couch. It would be giving a halo to Savannah, and it would probably be on the Tyndall girl's shoulder as well. So that light source is not in that room, which means that he wasn't in the room. Also, if you look super duper close, on his shoulder right there, you can see where some of the rose, the coloring from the rose, is coming on to his shirt because they tried to blend him in. And it didn't do a perfect job because you can see a little bit is on his shoulder, and that doesn't happen naturally. Also, there's just some like weird blurriness over here by the couch, which just makes me think that there was more blending going on. And I know people are going to come for me and be like, why does it matter? It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, no. But when everyone who is into the royal family is obsessed with who's lying and who's being truthful and what's genuine and what isn't, this is a moment that didn't actually happen. If you're photoshopping people into pictures, this picture isn't genuine. So this moment didn't happen. They're trying to pass it off as though it did. So take that as you will, but just some food for thought, I suppose. Regardless, it's a cute picture.
Okay, now we reached out to Kate for comment, and Kate Middleton.
It would be, I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to, obviously to this day, and going forward and things. It is, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
Yes, Royal Sussex reached out to Kate Middleton, and that was her statement, whatever she said. Ingrid says, thank you, Baron, and God's blessing, good health, wisdom, and happiness for Harry and Meghan and their precious and beautiful Royal Sussex family. Thank you so much for that, Ingrid. That is beautiful. Beverly McCaskill says, we'll re-listen later. Have to get ready for my Zoom meeting. Stay in prayer for Duchess of Sussex, Prince Archie, Princess Lily, Diana, Nana Doria, and each other. The next 2 weeks are going to be clowning time. Thank you so much for that, Beverly McCaskill. And there's a super sticker from Idma Nina Albertus. Thank you very much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, the Royal Expert. And thank you very much again. Another super sticker. Thank you very much, and happy Saturday to you. Wait a minute. And thank you again for another super sticker. And happy Saturday to you. Thank you. Right? That was 3 times, right? But anyway, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Times 3. Okay. And so with the photo, I managed to get some nice zoomed in shots there, right? Now take a look at that. Princess Catherine may take pretty pictures, says one of the squatties, but she doesn't know how to Photoshop. Who added Louis? These images have not been manipulated, just zoomed. Tut, 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 Kate the Queen would not be amused being exploited by you. So, okay, what she's saying is this particular squatty said that she did not manipulate these photos, but as you can see, there is an irregular pattern to the button on the sofa there, the tuft sofa. You can see the way there's that very pronounced line going through. And then here on the right side, I don't know what that is, the way there, I don't know, the light has been manipulated, I guess, to try to blend him into the photo, Louis. And then right here, you see the light on the wrong side of his head, his mouth, his arm blending in with the flowers mentioned before, and the tuft sofa. So yeah, it is strange. And then too, someone else has found a way that Louis' shirt is blended into Savannah's hair. Is it Savannah? Yeah. The way his shirt blends in with her hair. That is unusual. So it seems as though he was not in the room, like he was Photoshopped. And if you're going to Photoshop someone, the best thing to do is to stick them behind the sofa. I can't believe I'm saying that. But yeah, the best thing to do is to stick them behind the sofa. Oh, thank you so much. It's very important, Heather Ramsey. Thank you for being here. So, and then there's that, again, the lighting on the side of his face. If the window is on the other side and all the light that is being cast upon everyone else in the room is coming from the left of this photo, then where does Louis get this very peculiar looking light on the right side of his face? Just him alone, no one else. That is strange. That is strange, unless there's some lighting source that oddly enough is there for some reason. I don't understand it. And then, of course, there are people even saying, was the Queen even there? And there's a long history of these shenanigans with photos, right? It's not just today. If you take a look at the cover of the Us magazine, somebody was really trying to stoke William's ego. And you could see that for some reason his eyes are brightened, the shadowing effect on his face, and let us not miss that hairline. Okay, none of that is a bad thing. I mean, all magazine covers, they do that. But I have never seen them go through that much trouble to try to make William look more attractive. I mean, they're really trying to sell him as the cover model. Usually, if you look at most magazines, they hide William's hair behind the letters. Here they got the us behind him. But I promise you, if you start noticing magazines with William, you're going to notice that most times they try to obstruct his hairline with the letterings for the name of the magazine. Just saying. If they were photoshopping kids in the picture, why not Archie and Lily? Further proof they have no pictures of the Sussex kids. Oh, yeah. I was thinking that maybe they received like some photos from the Sussexes over time, but maybe not. Maybe not. That's interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let me see. Then Fu says, This goes to show that the cults are capable of any and all things that is, and are the people who have question about the Paris tunnel accident correct in their assumptions? Well, again, that was a very mysterious thing, and even Harry has made peace with it, but I don't know that he was ever satisfied with it. Now, on the left side, this very curious photo of the Queen and Philip for Philip's 99th birthday, I think it was. I still remember when that photo came out, everyone said that that photo looked photoshopped. If you look at the Queen's hands, her hands look horrible as usual. They do look bad. The Queen obviously was ailing at the time. There were many occasions when the Queen appeared as though she had just had an intravenous drip before she left the palace or whatever. A lot of times she wore gloves, sometimes she didn't. Rarely did she ever put a Band-Aid or what do you guys call it, a plaster on her hand. But there you have it. So there's the Queen looking as though she's photoshopped into the image. And there's Philip looking photoshopped. The image appears as though it was taken indoors and used on an outdoor photo. Very strange. It was always strange. And as soon as I saw the other thing, my mind went directly to this photo. And then, of course, as I went through my receipts, I remember this one. Duchess of Sussex captures Charlotte's wonder as she cradles fragile insect. Now, I'm just going to say, if this was one of the other kids, I'm not going to say which one, but if this was one of the other kids, that little insect would have been smashed into a paste by now. But because it's Charlotte, okay, I take that back. I'm sure that little insect would have been okay. I'm just saying there is a member of the family who would have smashed that insect lifeless if they had got the opportunity to do it. I mean, that insect would have been smeared all over the pavement, stepped on, hammered with a little fist. All kind of stuff would have happened to that insect. But because it's Charlotte, her little tender, gentle hands cradled that insect ever so politely instead of pulling its little wings off and snatching its little legs off like a praying mantis. What a difference a child makes. So, again, to protect the privacy of the child that I'm thinking about, I'm not going to say any names, but I'll just say this. That child may or may not have pistol whipped their parent with a replica firearm. I repeat, that child may have pistol whipped one of his parents, his or her parents, with a replica firearm. So I'm not saying, though, because I have too much respect and too much consideration to say which child I'm thinking about pistol whipping a parent and smashing an insect into a little fine paste. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I moved the microphone for some reason, like I was about to get up. I'm not going to say who I'm thinking about. And then, of course, there was this photo. The Queen was spotted being driven around Norfolk today, January 26th, after traveling to Sandringham from Windsor last week. I've said it before, but I love the fact that Her Majesty the Queen isn't constantly upgrading her wheels like many other royals. She had this Range Rover for over 15 years. Okay, fine. But take a look here. It's really interesting that Queen Elizabeth has been spotted driving around Windsor. The monarch, wearing sunglasses and headscarf, was alone in the Jaguar as she went for a drive. If you look closely, this pic is credited to Shutterstock, right? It's credited to Shutterstock. But that same photo, or something that looks very close to that photo, has been used on other occasions. Now, this is not the Range Rover. That's a different photo. That's a different photo. This one, the Queen is alone. And it's really interesting. The Queen has been spotted driving around Windsor. The monarch, wearing sunglasses, headscarf, was alone in the Jaguar as she went for a drive. If you look closely, this pic is credited to Shutterstock. So on the 1st of November 2021, monarch wearing sunglasses and headscarf was alone in Jaguar as she went for a drive. And then July 19th, 2021, the Queen has been seen at Sandringham, her Norfolk home, returning there for the first time since Prince Philip's death, right? Seemed to be the same photo. And then I got the bigger version of this, by the way. The Queen supports Black Lives Matter, and that was September 9th, 2021. And what did they do? They pulled out that same photo. So it was used in November, July, and September, the same photo. So if the photo was used in July and September and November, why on a couple of occasions you say the Queen was spotted driving around when in all likelihood the Queen was not driving around? It was just odd that they would make it seem as though it was a new photo. It's one thing to say it and to imply that the photo in the story is the actual one of the Queen, to reassure people that the Queen is okay. But that was not the Queen. As a matter of fact, I don't think it was just odd. It was just like they just lied about it. And of course, there was the occasion where the Queen actually was out and about, and that's the one where she was in the driver's seat. Unfortunately, she wasn't wearing her seatbelt, and of course, you don't really have to on a private property, although you really should, because the Queen wasn't driving. And if the driver had to stop suddenly, the Queen could have rocked forward and smushed her lipstick all over the dashboard and maybe broke her glasses. Maybe broke her glasses or something. I was very worried about that when I saw this photo, but I was just afraid she was gonna, the driver might see something and hit the brakes and the Queen go flying into the dashboard and smush her lipstick and break her glasses or something like that. I was just very concerned. And so, it just makes me very anxious when I see this. As a matter of fact, Royal Sussex did reach out to Kate Middleton for a comment.
Obviously, it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously, to this day, and going forward and things. It is. It's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot. And very inspirational. So I do.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Your Highness. And next time I don't need to know something, I'll make sure I ask you. Alma Andrews, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being here for the shade. Greatly appreciate it. Oh, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex,
the Royal Expert.
So, but if you guys are wondering, on this occasion, where was the Queen going? Well, she was just out to get some air. And of course, this was one of the last outings that the Queen had as she was, getting closer to her transition, of course. But I think that the Queen and Camilla may have been on some good terms at this point. And the reason why I say that is because, as you can see, the Queen is pointing for the driver to go that direction, Well, the reason why is because she wanted to stop and talk to her daughter-in-law. And there she is having a very deep and meaningful conversation with, at the time, the Duchess of Cornwall. So, as you can see, all of these things about there being tension between Her Majesty the Queen and, of course, the Duchess of Cornwall, all of those stories were overblown. They were not rooted in reality, as you can see. Camilla looks calmed and relaxed. She's not even baring her teeth right now. Her nostrils are not flaring. The Queen looks pretty chill. So there you go. Nothing to look at, folks. They are getting along they were getting along just fine. So there they are. Monarch to purebred or whatever. I'm sorry, Monarch to best in show or worst in show. So there you go. And you know what? This photo warms my heart. I like that. I like that. In spite of everything that has gone on between them, the Queen would take time out of her day to talk to her daughter-in-law is very encouraging. That lets us all know that in spite of everything, we can still be a family. Amen. And then there's this photo. As you can see, the photo on the right, William has his feet turned in. He's not smiling. And anyway, he's sitting in a very awkward manner. Not sure what to make of that. I do recall that there was one photo where they had to I don't think at the time they used the term Photoshop. I'm not even sure that this is that photo, but I know there was one photo where William was in the photo and he refused to smile. And so it was even in the papers at the time. I searched for it in vain. Again, I'm not sure this is actually the photo, but it may be. I just can't remember. But I think this was for William's confirmation in church or whatever, something like that. But yeah, so that is what this photo was. Now, if you take a look right here, this is yet another photo where it was alleged that photoshopping took place. Do you guys remember that? Look at how William seems to be pressed into his father's shoulder. As a matter of fact, the height difference between father and son seems even more dramatic than usual. It was said at the time, and I recall they said that this was photoshopped. The shadows, like, I don't know, it was something that did not make sense about this photo. I can say that William's elbow looked like it's digging into his father. And it seems like Charles is standing forward and William is standing further back. And if that's the case, then how is William's elbow kind of digging into Charles? I mean, Charles is not, rotating sideways at all. If he was, that would make sense. But then his feet are facing, one foot is more straight ahead to his left foot and his right foot is kind of turned away. It just never made sense. It never made sense. So that is yet another example of this may have been photoshopped. And then this one. Now, curiously enough, this one is not photoshopped. There is absolutely nothing nefarious going on in this photo. No adjustments have been made. This is just Charles trying to greet well-wishers. I promise you this photo is untouched and unaltered in any way. Nothing has happened. Nothing to look at, folks. Just move along. There's nothing to see here. Charles is just greeting some well-wishers. And likewise, I promise you This is a Photoshop. Now, you guys, I did not do this. I promise you, this photo was making the rounds. I saved it. I never assumed it was real, but I'm just demonstrating to you exactly how these photos can be altered by anyone who has the most basic Photoshop tools. There you go. Kind of remember, do you guys remember that movie American Werewolf in London? It reminds me of that movie American Werewolf in London rather. And of course, this is not photoshopped. That is really Kate on the left side, and this is the spitting image of Kate on the right side. So I want to make sure that you guys understand what is and is not photoshopped. And I'm not sure about this one. Do you guys think this was photoshopped or no? I can't tell. The only reason why I'm thinking that it may be photoshopped is because I don't remember Andrew looking so sassy, right? William, he always looks sassy. But Andrew, I just don't remember him looking that sassy. So I'm starting to think that this possibly maybe a photoshopped image. Possibly. Again, just something that I retrieved from the interweb. And then, of course, I'm going to say both of these are photoshopped. I'm pretty sure they are. Again, just a couple things I took off the internet. And okay, so you guys, that's enough of the Photoshop. I'm done with Photoshop. Matter of fact, since I'm done with Photoshop, let's do a little break beat, shall we? Okay, you ready? Little break beat. So, I just want to demonstrate something here. Her Majesty the Queen reportedly had a favorite child and a favorite grandchild. I believe she even had a favorite daughter-in-law or a granddaughter-in-law. So for the favorite child, everybody says Andrew. For the favorite grandchild, everybody says Harry. I finally have unimpeachable evidence. I have a true depiction of the Queen's feelings for her grandsons. If you look at this one, you can see the Queen is being very polite when she reviews William at Sandhurst. I think this is Sandhurst College. Is it Sandhurst College or Academy? Anyway, so the Queen kind of smiles and, oh, yes, you look very fine. Thank you. Because she's reviewing the graduating class, right? So take a look at this. If we had a mind reader, you could see very easily the Queen was thinking, because from the image here, you could see that she wasn't really into him as much as probably Harry. I'm just saying that's what I get. And you could see if there was a mind reader, the Queen would have been thinking to herself, Philip was right. He probably likes pulled pork sandwiches. Yep. Philip was right. He probably likes a good pulled pork sandwich. He would probably go all the way to Poland for a pulled pork sandwich. And now let's see how the Queen reacted to Harry. Now look at that. Look at the smile on the Queen's face. See the way she's smiling at Harry? What a difference. Even the image looks brighter and sharper. This is the Queen smiling at Harry, and this is the Queen like, ugh. He looks like he'll lose half of the Commonwealth one of these days. So I'm just saying, you guys, there's nothing scientific about what I'm saying is just my own casual observation. The Queen politely, nodded her head at William, like, oh, yeah, you're graduating. Very nice. And then with Harry, the Queen is just, I mean, she's grinning like crazy. Harry's all blushing and happy and slightly embarrassed by the attention, whereas William, looks like, if I could just get a good pulled pork sandwich. And so there you go. And the Queen also was thinking to herself, thank God he's normal. So that's it, you guys. My little unscientific survey of who the Queen loved or liked the most. No shade to William, but it just doesn't seem like the Queen was as fond of him. That's all. And Harry, look at there. It looks like a rainbow is in the sky. That everything is bright and crisp and beautiful. See, that's it. And congratulations to Simone Biles. Yes, they jumped a broom. They got married. She married the NFL player. I forget his name, but anyway, she got married today. Simone Biles has married. Let me see. What is his name? Houston, Texas. Oh, wait. Jonathan Owens. Is that his name? Yeah, Jonathan Owens. Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens. That is who got married today. Very, very nice. I love it. They are proving that they have a marriage license and everything. How sweet. Oh, you're welcome, Shelly L. You're welcome. And by the way, Shelly L., tell me more about your pulled pork sandwich. Signed, Prince William. I'm just saying that Prince William looks like he enjoys a good pulled pork sandwich sometimes in comparison to most people. I mean, the man went all the way to Poland for a pulled pork sandwich, didn't he? So, and the Queen being so wise and worldly, she probably realized that he was a little different. That's all. That's all. No, I mean, she looked and she took a measure of him and thought that there was a pulled pork sandwich in his future. And you could tell. You could tell. So she was a bit disgusted and disappointed when she walked away. But then there's Harry. That's all. No shade. No shade. Okay. So anyway, I don't want to spoil Simone Biles' big moment. Look at what a beautiful photo. What an attractive couple. What an attractive couple. I mean, I hate to sound like that person, but they need a good endorsement deal. You know what I mean? They could be like the face of so many products. I mean, their connection is so genuine. I love it. Yes, there you go. The money shot. The money shot. And sad news today. Barry Humphries, also known as Dame Edna, has passed away. How old was she? Anyway, she passed away. Looked like she was like what, 99? No, 89. Looks like she was 89. Yeah. Yeah. Just very, very. It's going to be a big loss in the entertainment community for sure. And so long, Dame Edna. So long. Godspeed. And remember, you guys, it is Earth Day 2023. Do something, think something, read something, make a contribution, do something to help clean up this planet and bring awareness to global warming, because we all share this space together, one and all, and we could all do better. We all need to do something. Maybe buy fewer things that we won't wear, or, try not to accumulate so much waste. Make sure you guys recycle, right? Right. All right. Thank you so much, guys. And with that, I am done. Yes, I'll leave it there. But yes, you guys, I am done. Thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for the very generous donations. I did receive a couple of cash apps earlier today. Thank you very much for that. Also, this has not been a Mark Goodson or a Bill Totson production. No animals were maimed or injured. And of course, probably very little nudity and violence for sure. God's child, when King Charles III allegedly stopped listening to others, history will speak of him favorably. Until then, all supporters, especially people of color in the Commonwealth world and the world, will take the othering and abuse of Harry and Meghan personally. Yes, you're right about that. And I do take it personally. And I am very bothered by that and very disappointed with Charles. I mean, people didn't expect much from him because he has been kind of shady for a long time. But, he's too old for that now. I mean, you're 73 years old. You have been around the sun. Oh gosh, how many times? 73 times. So, having taken 73 loops around the sun, you ought to know better, right? Let me see here, Reva. I got married in a friend's house in Crystal Lake, Chicago, in front of 30 people who we had never met. Really? Now, that's an interesting story. Very interesting. Well, how was that, though? I guess when you're in love, it doesn't make a difference. Although it is good to have family and friends around, but sometimes that just ain't possible. So, very cool. Thank you for sharing. Oh, you're very welcome, KDV. Thank you for being here. I am going to be glued to the social media because I want to know what else is going on. What a day this has been. What a day this has been. Well, Joy Amore, everybody is saying that is impossible because of the law. Everybody is saying that is impossible because William is the heir apparent, and there's really no mechanism under the law, under tradition. There's no precedence for Camilla to be queen in her own right. However, I will say this: Maria Theresa, was that her name? The Tsarina of Russia, she wasn't supposed to rule, and she did. And through her own cleverness and conniving, somehow she managed to sit on the throne. She took several lovers, and eventually she died of a stroke. But yeah, she ate and consumed and had sex until she died. What a way to go. So, of course, that was not supposed to happen, but it did. So, not likely to happen in the United Kingdom. People do not have any respect for Camilla. If Camilla was more respected, I would say anything's possible. But because there are so many people that do not just dislike her, but they are hostile about the fact that she has even taken the title the Queen. So I'm going to say nay, that is not going to happen. Baron, how will they turn this linked story around? I don't know. I don't think whoever leaked it. Oh, yeah, you mean leaked, right? Whoever leaked it doesn't mean for it to be turned around. I think it was to create embarrassment or pain for the Cambridges, now the Welleses. So it's not a lot you can do about it. is going to end up in court, no doubt. And when that happens, they may investigate and try to figure out where the leak came from. Now, they may never find out, but in order to figure out where it comes from, you have to figure out who does it help? To whose advantage was it to leak this story? So that it's like they say, follow the money. And it's just like following the money. Mary Hiker, hi all by all. I've watched from the start. Just got home. Night Baron. Thank you so much, Mary Hiker. I hope you're feeling well today. Elaine Parker. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not for me. Teresa McDougall says, Baron, I am done. Done with my sewing alterations for my while listening to the podcast. It was difficult. Oh, did something tickle your funny bone? Was it the pulled pork sandwich? Was it the pulled pork sandwich? I don't know. It's something about pulled pork that just brings out the other side of people, if you will. But what's important is we are here together to support our Duke and Duchess and the Sussex family. So Duchess Meghan, Princess Meghan, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, those are the people we're really here to support. And the rest of the people, we're just here to make fun of them. And of course, there's no malice or hate, even if there is a senior royal who probably has some explaining to do. We are not going to go there because we don't know for sure. But hello, is this the Daily Mail? Senior Royal here. Yes, hello, Senior Royal here. Oh, man. Wait, did somebody say something? Oh, okay. Yeah. Ever since I found out about that trip to Poland, I look at William, I see pulled pork sandwich. I look at William, I see pulled pork sandwich. And that's the only thing that cured me from looking at William and thinking of pegging. So I see pulled pork sandwiches. Let me see. Okay. Hi, Baron. If Charles dies, how can there be two queens? Just asking for a friend. Well, I mean, don't you mean three? Because you have Camilla, right? And then, of course, you have Kate. Now, there's a chance that Queen Camilla could be known as the Queen Mother, although I'm pretty sure William will have none of that. But if that is the case, you will have the Queen Mother, Queen Camilla. You will have Queen Catherine. And then, of course, the third queen that people always tend to overlook, Queen Edwina. So there's a few queens in the family. You got Edwina, Camilla, and Catherine. So yes, so just not to correct you, but there's three queens to consider. There's three queens. Okay, let me see. Oh, Andrew Bodie, you're quite welcome. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much. I'm having fun. Yeah, what a juicy, interesting show today. Everything was just so odd and timely, you know? I'm here for it. I would have been on early, but I had to run an errand, so I think everything was perfectly timed. Okay, you guys, we're done. I see there's still 1,412 people in here. Feel free to hang out and chat. I'm wrapping it up, though. Pretty soon, I'm going to be looking for the last word of the day. Also, whenever you see our queens, you know we're just about done. And that, of course, is Queen Doria and Queen Diana. And of course, those are the moms of the most influential royals on the planet. You don't get more influential than Harry and Meghan. So, influential couple, influential royals, influence. They are going to change the world, the two of them. They are changing the world. Okay. Okay, let me see here. Lane Parker says, bye, everyone, wherever you are in the world. You know what? That sounds like an ending to me. So, you guys, Elaine Parker has said it. Bye, everyone, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Also, don't forget, I posted a video earlier today based on a couple of articles from Royal Suitor. Let me see here. I'll put the link on the screen. Give me just a second. But yeah, it kind of helps the article come to life, I think. And there we go. There is the link. That was a video I posted in the wee hours of the morning. Check it out. It is called Meghan, Duchess of Sussex and Princess of the Realm. Therein lies the problem. That is where the problems come from, is that not only is she a duchess, but she's a princess, she's a woman of color, and by marriage, she becomes instantly a senior royal. She didn't even have to work her way up. So, Anita of My Duke and I posted a video. She also has the, what do you call that? She has the rebuttal, the what do you call it? The response from the Sussexes. So you can also check that out. Very, very cool. Oh, thank you, Andrew Bodie. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, thank you, Lydia. You know what? I love making my edited videos, so I had a kick out of putting it together. I was so sleepy last night. I was sitting there dozing off. I'm like, I got to finish this video. I wanted to post it for today. But hopefully for some people, it will explain a lot. The reference to Icarus and Zidadius was about the father and son who were held hostage by some evil ruler on an island. And when they tried to escape, with their wings made out of feathers and wax and twigs, the father had told his son, don't fly too close to the sun. Otherwise, anyway, so that was from Greek mythology. And that's what the second half of the video was based upon, was the story of Icarus. Okay. Thank you, Cookies and Cream. Yes, please do keep praying for the Sussexes. And you know what, guys? I am even less enthusiastic about Harry going to the coronation than I was before. But, you know, that is his father, and he may have his reasons. And I always say, trust the Sussexes. There's a lot we may not understand. But it's out there, right? And hopefully there will be hell to pay from the person who leaked it, as well as the people who have tried to accuse the Sussexes. And of course, that clown that tried to blame the Sussex squad. That was really tacky. Oh, no, they said Sussex camp, not Sussex squad. Okay. And of course, we are not the Sussexes. We are just people who love and support the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. We are no way affiliated with them. We only fundraise in their name. We pray for them, and we drag people who have been cruel to them, but we do not work for the Sussexes. I am not Meghan, even though Thomas Markle Jr. accused me of being Meghan. I'm not Meghan. I'm taller, I think. I'm a little taller than her, I think. So I'm certainly not Meghan. And if I tried to do any of those yoga or what is that she does, Pilates, yoga stuff, I'd probably end up in the hospital. So I promise you, I am not the Duchess of Sussex. Some of those moves, I couldn't make it at gunpoint. I'd have to give up. You just have to take me out. I couldn't do it. When I see people doing all that twisting and bending and stuff like that, that makes my body ache watching it. So I know it's not me. Okay. All right. So with that, you guys, I am going to cue the Ginger Avenger. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I guess not. That was that, and that's that. So yeah, I guess I got everything, right? Right. Well, you know what, Don Bennett? I'm just gonna put it out there. Unless you've seen me in a pencil skirt, I wouldn't discount the idea that, or should I say, I wouldn't doubt that I'm Meghan. I'm just saying you can't prove that I'm Meghan, okay? I mean, because I can rock a pencil skirt. Trust me. There's nothing that the world would rather see than an overcaffeinated, chubby baby boomer with mad arthritis trying to prance around in a pencil skirt. It is like the portrait Norman Rockwell forgot to paint. But I'm telling you, I could have easily have found myself on the cover of the Saturday Evening Post in a pencil skirt. There, I said it. I would stop traffic. Claudia, you don't understand. I have stopped traffic in a pencil skirt. And the stilettos, that's like putting like about 150 pounds in each shot glass. Yeah, it's like putting my foot in the shot glass. So, but you know what they say? If you're not hurting, you're not beautiful, right? If it doesn't hurt, you're not beautiful. That's the truth of it. No pain, no gain. All right. I know, Sheila Dews, I'm having so much fun today. I'm having so much fun today. That's why I told you guys, don't even bother with the coronation. Protect your mental health if you need to stay away from anything to do with that family. But if you come to Royal Sussex, we'll have a little talk about this and that, and hopefully have a little fun, learn a few things along the way, and just hang out and be here for each other. I like that. I like that. It's like I'm not even working. It's just fun. Let's see here, Baron. I just love that video. I am so extremely proud of you. And as I listened to that video, I had a smile on my face. Thank you very much. Wow, Judith Reynolds, thank you. Thank you ever so much for that. Yeah, I miss doing my edited videos. I really do. So I had that actually in the works for about 2 weeks, and I finally had a chance to get to it. And last night I was just like, I gotta finish this video. Gotta finish this video. Yep. So, okay. Well, I mean, if it helps the fashion industry, I mean, Connie Balmer, let's talk about this. Me appearing in a pencil skirt. If the Duchess of Sussex can sell handbags and denim pants and such, surely Royal Sussex in a pencil skirt could sell at least a couple of outfits. At least two, right? If I can just put one or two people to work by promoting pencil skirts, then I have done my duty, right? Right. Clarissa Montgomery, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex, the royal expert. Yep. But yeah, so I'm only thinking about the fashion industry and whatever it takes to keep those brave men and women in those factories and sweatshops working. I'm willing to do it. And that's why every so often I have to sing that song from the 70s. So look for the union label when you are buying a shirt, dress, or blouse. Remember somewhere a union label so we'll be able to keep our jobs and blah, 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 blah. We work hard, but who's complaining? And if you're wearing a pencil skirt, remember somewhere the union label so we'll be able to make it in the USA. Yes, I remember that song from the 70s. That was very cool. The other favorite song I had from the 70s was actually, was it from the 70s or was it from the 60s? Do you guys remember the Coca-Cola? I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. Oh, I shouldn't say that because if I say it too loud, Camilla's son may show up. So, right? I shouldn't say that too loud because if I say it too loud, one of Camilla's children may show up on my doorstep. So I take that back. I don't want anything to do with that beverage or anything else that sounds like that because, yeah, could you imagine singing that and then all of a sudden that big head is at the door? You know what I'm saying? You're sitting up there singing the song, and then you look through the peephole, and there's big, gigantic head Tom Parker Bowles looking back at you. That is quite a melon he has. I wonder how does he keep his balance? You know what I mean? As a child, he must have been a little top heavy, I think. What a bizarre looking person. I mean, his head is just huge, isn't it? He's got that massive head. The only person that I know that has a head anywhere near as big as that is Tom Burrell, Paul Burrell, Paul Burrell. Paul Burrell has the mother of all heads. Paul Burrell's head looked like he has a lorry sitting up on his shoulders, but this is like huge in a whole nother way. I mean, how did he make it through the birth canal? You know what I'm saying? How did he make it through the birth canal? That must have been interesting. But then again, you know what? I'm going to stop before I say something disparaging about the queen, and I don't want to do that. But I'm just saying, how did he make it through the birth canal? I mean, this man is a one man obstruction. Um, my goodness. Oh well. You know that's gonna haunt my dreams. So let me get that image off the screen because that is a massive. That just doesn't make. Yes, a pumpkin head. You're right, a pumpkin head. I mean, he does look like a big jack-o'-lantern, doesn't he? Got those jagged teeth and that large bulbous head. He looks like a jack-o'-lantern. What a and then to have the nerves to had been running around doing the stuff that he used to do. If you guys listened to yesterday, remember the stuff that they had accused him of? To have been running around. How do you like try to remain anonymous or try to keep a low profile when you got that big head like that? That's what I'm trying to sort out. Big as that head is, he got the nerves to be trying to sneak around. Ooh. Ooh. I mean, look at him. Could you imagine looking into the Ring camera video and that head is just like all warped and all up in the lens? That he looks like the Ring camera video, even though he's not on video. You know what I mean? It's like without being on camera on a Ring video, even if you're in a room right across from him, with the shape of his head, he looks like a Ring camera video, if you understand what I'm saying. So that is something else. That is very strange. Oh well. But that's William's good friend. That's William's friend. You know, William, who never did anything, they blamed everything on Harry. That's William's friend. Huh. Okay, you guys, I think I have slandered enough people for today. We had fun. Remember, we don't hate anybody at Royal Sussex, but just to maintain our sanity, sometimes we have to cut up, and I think we have successfully done that. And if that doesn't work, then we have to admonish people with our stare. We have to give them an admonishing glance in order to show our disdain and displeasure. Um, yeah, so we'll do that sometimes. Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean with that big, gigantic, you know, I don't know, Coco Ambrose. Uh, I'm going to say this. When I went to the UK, when I went to the UK, you know, you know how when you go to California and you think everybody is blonde and has beautiful tan skin and washboard abs, and then you get there and you see all them big, fat, sloppy people walking around. Um, that's how it is when you go to Britain. You think everybody looks like Sean Connery, or you think everybody looks like Elizabeth Hurley, and then you get there and you see somebody in their jogging suits and run over Payless mules and stuff like that. That's how it is when you go to the UK. Now, I one thing I learned on my first trip there is that the people in Paris dress much better than people in London. People in London seem to have just given up, but the people in Paris, all I mean, even the bums were elegant. You know what I mean? Everybody had on like nice clothes, and I think the way it goes, they say that in Paris you don't have a big wardrobe, but you have quality pieces that you use over and over again. But when I was in London, my opinion was the average person had just given up. I mean, you see a person in a very dapper three-piece suit, looking like they just jumped out of a gentleman's magazine, and then you'll see like the biggest bum, you know. So that was the difference. People in Paris seem to be more aware of their appearance on a day-to-day basis. And yes, there were some people in London that were very well put together, but compared to Paris, I would say the Parisians on balance, like it's like America. You go to America, everybody's got labels on. You go to Paris, they don't wear all those labels. They didn't then, and they certainly don't do it now. But here, we like big brands and labels and stuff like that. They don't do that in Paris. And to me, like when I was in London, the people in London, they look too much like people in America, except odder, if you understand what I'm saying. So, That was just my impression. But there's good and bad every place you go. So I don't want to single out any place in particular. But it's like being in the Iberian Peninsula. You go to Spain, you go to Portugal, and it's just like, God, is everybody hot here or what? Like going to Puerto Rico, everybody's hot. Certain places you go, Venezuela, everybody's hot. Um, you don't get that in London. You don't get that in London. Um, and I must say, in a few select parts of the United States, you won't find that either. There's some monsters here too. Um, I am being very superficial, but I'm just being honest. It's a sign of the times. There was a time when people took more pride walking out the house. I know most days when I walk out the house, trust me, nobody is going to target me for having a large sum of money or looking like, that I would be worth kidnapping or something. Nobody's going to target me. I am like the poster child for broke. So as I'm sitting here talking, um, I have been known to look quite disheveled in the produce section, and deliberately so. I'm at that age where I just don't care as much. Okay. Do you guys like this honesty, or should I stop? I've given up. And speaking of giving up, how come Celibacy wasn't on today? Do you know my favorite thing about Saturday is Celibacy? Do you know my favorite thing about Sunday is Hello, Ivy here? Is Sussex Global UK and Lady Sussex. That is my favorite thing about Sunday. My favorite thing about Saturday is Celibacy, and they were not on today. I can't take it. I love Celibacy. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, I would love to. I remember when I used to just stand in the mirror and I used to make such a fuss over my hair, and now I look like, uh, F them if they can't take a joke. Yeah, I went from, oh, I got to put something nice on to F them if they can't take a joke. I'd fit right in London, wouldn't I? Listen, I'm just having fun. There's nothing wrong with the people of London. I'm serious though. People were just a little more elegant in Paris than London. Big difference. Okay, let me see. I'm so glad you're still on. Somehow I switched to another episode, which ended rather abruptly. I was so disappointed that it had ended. Well, Regina Mercedes, I should be off of here myself, but I'm just hanging out because I don't feel like doing nothing. It was raining earlier, and my sinuses got all messed up and everything. So, believe it or not, I was feeling a bit unpleasant, but by talking and making fun of the royal family, all of a sudden I felt better. Is it honesty time? I dress down, but I dress quality because I have nice clothes. But try not to draw attention, so I do not have to cut any. You don't have to cut anybody, huh? I understand. Oh, thank you. Is it Jose Williams? Thank you very much. And Joy Amore says, I pray one day I get lucky enough to visit Paris. Oh, Joy, listen, take my advice. Take my advice. Buy a ticket, right? Of course, now it's kind of hard to get a passport. So if you're in the US, passports are way behind. But buy the ticket, and I promise you're going to go. Just buy the ticket. Once you buy that ticket, you'll be so committed to going. And after you buy the ticket, then you do research and you think about it. And It's just, it has to become a part of you, right? And once you do that, you're going to say, oh my goodness, I got to go to Paris. It's just, it's so beautiful. And I loved it. When I first went to Paris, I was just transported. I felt, it felt so, I could not believe. I said, how am I here? How did I get here? That was all I could think about. Was I was in awe of the fact that I was there. Um, but yeah, it is beautiful. It won't disappoint at all. It's everything that you want it to be. I even watched that series on Netflix, Emily in Paris. I love that. I've been to Paris twice. Awesome city. It is. It is. There, um, my first love is architecture. I would love to say that I'm here for all the culture and the food and all that stuff, but architecture is like one of my big, big, if not the biggest love of mine is architecture. So there was certain things I wanted to see. I had a chance to go to the top of the Notre Dame. And when I saw that the Notre Dame was on fire, do you know people called me because they knew I would be upset, and they're just like, "What you doing?" I'm oh, there's a fire in Paris. I said, "Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it." Because people knew that I would be very emotional about it, and I was. I was so upset. Let's see. Jose Williams says Meghan's letter to her father was edited before it was published, so they messed with it. Same thing, May. Oh, that's a good point, Jose. You get a bell for that. That is a great point. They may have altered this letter. And Jael says, if you go to Paris, plan taking good shoes. They are on strike. Oh, yeah, all the time. So you may not have the metro working. Uh, Jael, okay, I'm going to tell you. I walked from the Gardenier, or was it the Gare de Lys? I walked from either one of those train stations to the Peripherique. So I walked for about 45 minutes, I think. They said that the taxi or Uber taxi would have been about 45 minutes. So I walked it, and I was okay until I got to a couple of points where there was some hills. But it's a great city to walk. It is a great city to walk. If you don't mind walking, it's worth it because you're going to just discover so many interesting things, and you'll see so many interesting people, all of that. It's a great place to walk. But yes, you need comfortable shoes, um, because there's going to be a few hills here and there, and it's just not a place to try to be cute. Wear a good walking shoe, and you'll enjoy it that much better. Let me see. Regina says, I was shaken by the Notre Dame fire too. I love just standing in front of that structure. Yeah, it's so, I always just imagine what the area was like in the past, what's survived, what's original, all of that stuff. It just really captures my imagination. Um, the other thing, every time I go to Paris, I always try to make a trip to the Saint Denis. And Saint Denis is where the kings are buried, where the royals are buried. And Saint Denis is actually not so beautiful. It's gorgeous on the inside, but the outside is rather. It started off more like a Romanesque church. It wasn't like a Gothic church at all. I'm not even sure that it is. You can really qualify it as a Gothic cathedral, but the Saint Denis, what it lacks on the outside, it really makes up for it on the inside. And you can see like some really beautiful sarcophagus and effigies and stuff. Very, very cool place. Oh, Joy. Yeah, I understand. It especially now it's even that much more expensive, so that is a factor. That is definitely a factor. I I went by myself. The actually I always travel by myself. It's just so much easier. But I traveled by myself the first time I went, and I was only there for 48 hours. I was a 10-day trip, London, and then I took the ferry over to Calais, and then on to Paris. So it was a 2-day trip. And in 48 hours, I had to try to squeeze as much into it as possible. Oh, back in 2000, really enjoyed Paris. My first time I was there, I was in Notre Dame. It was Easter morning, 2007, Easter morning. And I was, it was enough to be in Paris, but I was traveling, so I didn't really think about the holiday. And it was Easter morning. And I'm just like, wow, how biblical is this? I'm in Paris, it's Easter morning, and I'm walking into Notre Dame. It was something very poetic about that. So, yeah, really love that. And I remember, let's see, I only spent one night there. So I got there. Uh, the bus went to the ferry to Calais, and then the bus trip to Paris. And I kind of nodded off most of the way. And then suddenly, well, I'm right there in central Paris, right? And I went and found a hotel, dropped my stuff off, and then I went sightseeing. I was exhausted, but I was too elated with joy to sleep. And so I walked around and everything. And I still remember that first night I was there. I was at this hotel called, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name of it. But I remember just laying in the bed and looking at this. I bought a uh, Eiffel Tower, a crystal Eiffel Tower. And I didn't even want it, but the guy was just like, oh, you got to buy it. You got to buy it. And I did. And it had the LED light, and it would light up and it would twinkle and everything like that. And I remember just laying there in the bed. I'm in Paris. I'm in a cheap hotel, adequate, but not very expensive, just enough to, it was clean and decent. I'll say that. And I'm looking at this thing on the night table, and I'm just like, how in the world did I get here? I couldn't believe I was in Paris. But yep, that was something I'll never forget. And the first time I stepped out of the subway, out of the metro, and I was going up the steps, and I could see the Eiffel Tower. I could see the Eiffel Tower. I was just in awe of that moment. So, anyway, Joy Moore, I hope you can make it there one of these days. I pray for that for you. But it was just really cool. Um, and I don't eat I usually have one good meal wherever I go, but most of the time I look for the cheap stuff because I usually am on a budget, and I'm also trying to see as much as possible. So I don't want to sit in a restaurant for 2 hours or 3 hours. I want to wolf my food down and hit the pavement. So that is why I usually stick to the cheap stuff. So Jael says, and I run away from all this. Los Angeles is so different. Yeah. But Los Angeles has its own energy because, yes, there's a lot of creative people in Paris, obviously, but there's a different kind of like creativity in California. Uh, and I wouldn't mind being there either. But if I won the lottery, I would have myself a very posh Parisian apartment. And I would have a very posh New York apartment. and I would just fly back and forth between both well, New York's not a capital, not anymore, but I would fly back and forth between both cities. That's what I would do. If I were a rich man, da 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 da. If I were a wealthy man, that's what I would do. I would just fly back and forth between both capitals, and then, of course, go to other places. But yeah, I love big cities. I love getting lost in a big city, and I love all the interesting architecture and people watching. It's like my favorite stuff. Let me see here. Baron, I can make a serious quiche. Any type will make you slap anyone in the. Oh, that reminds me of that old saying, when something is really delicious, be like, ooh, them chicken wings was so good, it'll make you slap your pappy. I haven't heard anybody say that in ages. Slap your pappy. Oh, man. Hey, Anastasia, Isabella. Yeah, we're still here. I'm just sitting here making small talk. If I had $1 million, I don't know that song. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I haven't done a travel video for a long time. If you guys want me to do another travel video, I mean, I could talk about a few other places I have gone to. Yeah, maybe I'll do that after the coronation, I bet. Yeah, that'd probably be a good time. After the coronation, I'll do a travel video. I'll think of something cool. I got a bunch of photos. I got thousands of photos. So maybe I'll do Paris. Or did I do Paris already? Oh, man. I don't know. When I was growing up, we always said slap your pappy. Now, okay. So at one of my old jobs, all of us were singing. Sometimes just to pass the time, we would all, join in a little song. And so I started going tweedledee, 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 tweet, tweet. Now, of course, I thought everybody was going to go tweedledee. So I'm starting the song and everything. This is such an odd story, but I got to tell you. So I forget the guy's name, but so we all just kind of like getting into the song. Tweedledee, 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 tweedledee. And instead of going tweet, tweet, tweedledee, you will not believe what he said. So I'm doing the thing. I'm whistling. Everybody's like snapping their fingers, shaking their head, especially when we're all supposed to be working. Of course, that's what you do at work. You start singing Rocky Robin. Right, exactly, Rositas. So I get to the tweet, your mama stink. I said, wait. What do you mean? He said, didn't y'all used to do that when you was a kid? I said, no. And it was so funny when I said, okay, now let's do it over. I couldn't even make myself whistle because I was laughing too hard. I said, it's Tweedledee, not your mama stink. Oh my God. I could not believe, I have never heard that before. And I know every group of kids have their own thing, but you don't ruin Rocky Robin like that. Tweedledee, 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 tweet, tweet. Your mama stink. So I guess what I'm trying to say is some rogue individual in my workplace has ruined that song forever. I can never listen to Rocky Robin without thinking about Tweet, Tweet, Your Mama Stink. Oh, gosh. That's why sometimes if there's something really dear and important to you and meaningful, don't share it in a group because people will ruin it for you. Tweet, tweet, your mama stink. I'm like, no, I've never heard that before. I'm like, where did you get that from? Well, when we was a kid, that's what we used to do. I say, okay, whatever. Now let's take it from the top. Tweet, lee, lee, tweet, lee, lee, tweet. And then at that point, I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even whistle. I was like, it was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing just the thought of it. So I go, Tweedlee. Oh, man. I haven't told anybody that story in ages, but that really did happen. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I mean, if Tyler Perry needs me for his studio, of course I must drop everything. Of course I would. I mean, I could live in Georgia. Okay. All right, you guys. Now it is going on like 3 hours since we started. And now that I have ruined Rocky Robin for you guys, my work is done. And with that, I am going to take leave and I will see you guys tomorrow. I am going to comb the interweb so I can find the latest information about Lettergate. Oh, man, what a day. Certainly wasn't expecting that for today. But again, thank you to the Mod Squad. Thank you all for your very generous contributions to Royal Sussex, the Royal Expert. And did we ever do the Ginger Avenger? Did we? I don't remember. Huh. That's strange. Oh boy, that Sometimers is kicking in. Did we Ginger Avenger? I don't think so. I don't think we have. So yes. Oh, Edna Richardson, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Isn't this a nice community? I really do love it. I really do. I really do love the Sussex Squad. It's so unexpected. I mean, if anybody would have said that I would be like involved in anything like this, especially at this age, I wouldn't have thought it was possible. And yet here I am. Here we are. So, yeah. Just like Jael, when you were a young girl running through the streets of Paris, baguette in hand, singing Miambi Rose, did you ever picture that you would be living in California and listening to some over-caffeinated, chubby baby boomer who can't stop thinking about wearing pencil skirts? Did you ever think that that was going to happen for you? I'm pretty sure that this has caught you off guard, that this is like some unexpected consequence of the decisions that you have made in life. Now you're spending your Saturday evening listening to some rather large, aging old black man talking about wearing a pencil skirt and dreaming about, I guess, what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. What frozen entree shall I pop into the microwave? What a strange world we live in. Yep. Oh, well. I mean, how could you? How could you have seen this moment? How could you have seen this moment coming? There's no way you could have. Why would you? What would have told you that you would be listening to this very large, very out of shape African American who has his teeth sitting over on the side table? Who would have thought that you would be listening to me on a Saturday night. Not me, not you. Nobody could have. But yet, here we are. So it just goes to show you that it's a very interesting world that we live in, and that there's always some unexpected events around every corner. So, oh man, okay. I am a little extra chatty tonight. I wonder what's going on. Am I like trying not to deal with something? Is there something let me stop. I'm just kidding. There's nothing deep or philosophical to it. I'm just hanging out. Oh, okay. I tell you, if I start getting any weirder, you guys will start thinking that I have been hanging around with Camilla's son. Okay. All right. All right. I'm just looking through some of the comments. All right. So I'm going to cue the Ginger Avenger, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Should be equally interesting. And yeah. And so I'm off. All right. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. And cue the Ginger Avenger. Oh, Jael, I still have you on the screen. I didn't realize that. All right. Yes, it is time to fade to black, isn't it? All right. And I'm still looking through comments. I gotta stop. It's just been such an interesting day. Oh yeah, sister says, hi, Baron and Squatties. For Prince Archie's birthday, if I was the Sussex family, I would post the picture of the children with Queen if they have one with Prince Charles. Happy coronation. Yeah. Well, now if you remember, sister, I think that what's her name? Angela Levin said that the Sussexes probably had cameras in their pocket, cameras in Archie's juice box, cameras in the sole of Harry's shoe. She said there was cameras everywhere. So if there are photos, we will see it. They might be a little low in perspective, but we'll see them. So yeah. But no, I don't know. But I would rather they keep it private if it's going to cause a lot of controversy. But, still, like anybody else, I would love to see pictures of the Sussexes, the children, whatever. But only if it's not going to be problematic for them. So let me see. Okay. All right. So anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, love you guys. Good night.